Parshas Masei is just one of those parshas that no one's got anything really interesting to talk about. But at the end of the parsha, there's actually something that's very interesting. If you look at the pasuk in Lamed Beis Yud Beis, the pasuk lists Kalev before Yeshua. Avi's question is, why is Kalev before Yeshua? Right? Kalev was a very special individual. Talking about one of the good spies over here. 12 spies were sent. Is Yeshua and Kalev that were the good spies. Kalev comes up again later on in Sefer Yeshua, the second parak, when Yeshua sends the Meraglim in, he sends the two spies in. Doesn't say in the actual psukim who these two spies were, but it's Kalev and Pinchas yet again. So why is Kalev mentioned before Yeshua, the leader of the Jewish people? So my great grandfather in the Sefer Nachlas at the end of the parsha addresses this, and he asks this question, and then he answers and says, Efshar Lemer. It's possible to provide the following answer. Ki kolev nisoider me'atzmo v'holoch v'nishtateach al kivri avois v'yispalu she'yinatzil me'itzas hameraglim. Who is Kalev? Kalev is an individual who had an awakening, a spiritual awakening on his own. And he went and he prayed by the graves of the forefathers, of his ancestors. He davened and he prayed to them that he should be saved from the evil peer pressure and reports that the other spies were going to bring that were negative. She'inkin Yeshua, conversely, Yeshua didn't do this. Yeshua didn't do that. He needed what the prayers of what Moshe said, what he davened. So you see from over here an idea, which is when you do something yourself on your own, like Kalev, that's already a higher level. When it comes from your heart, when you do it yourself, as opposed to someone else, even with all of Yeshua's greatness that he had, not to obviously pretend that Yeshua is an incredible person, but nevertheless, it wasn't on his own. At the end of the day, that's the idea. Based on this, we could discuss the importance of davening. It says in the beginning of Tainus on Daf Beis, Ezehu, it says that you should love Hashem with all your heart. What is the service that's in your heart? This is davening. That's the service in the heart. That's the avodah shebalev. It says in the Gemara in Brachos on Daf Lamed Beis that davening is one of the things that needs constant chizuk, constant encouragement and strengthening. It has to come from the heart. It's gotta all be in the heart. That's what Hashem needs. Feelings, not just that we show up, we come there, we go through the motions, we're exercising our lips. We have to mean the words that we say when we daven. It's an important thing. There's so much to ask for. World peace. There's no terrorism. People that with the illnesses, people who can't have children, infertility, orphans. There's so much out there we need to focus on. All sorts of issues that people are having, mentally, physically, everything, spiritually, financially. I mean, you name the list over here. All of these things that we need to pray, that we need to daven for. And the Gemara says that if we need something and we daven for someone else, huya netachila will be answered first. We have to also daven for others. That's the idea over here. That's something to focus on. But this is another insightful idea. This idea of Kalev awakening within himself. That we need to initiate, be proactive on our own. Not have someone else making us do it. We need to be involved with spirituality on our own. And that's going to be the higher level. That's going to be a better situation. It's a quick, nice idea in the parsha.